Let's play Frogger, like an episode of Seinfeld. This game was a big deal, man, back in the day. Kids loved it. I think they were going after kids for sure with Frogger. Easy to understand, make a frog jump across the road. Some were saying that it was one to kind of fill the female interests. Instead of shooting things, they would play this game. And I think that's probably true. I know of a lot of women that I've talked to over the years. Whenever I bring up, classic arcade machines and pinball machines, they bring up Frogger. I've sold, maybe 20 cabinets over the years that were all-in-ones, and they asked if Frogger was on it, and Pac-Man. And so there really is something to that. But anyway, 1981 game, and it was, if you look, this game does not actually say Sega Gremlin on it. Interesting. So let's take a look at the next cabinet. By the way, this is not mine exactly, but very, very similar to the cabinet that I owned. I had a Frogger. It was a generic, all of them are generic wood grain cabinets, black tea molding, and the bezel is just paper. So a cheap cabinet is what I would call it. Here is a nice version of this with side art. Mine didn't have side art. This one has side art. It looks great. I'm not sure why so many of them don't have side art unless that was something that was added later. So somebody watching this probably knows, would love to hear that. But my gut tells me that was part of the original cabinet. This one looks beautiful. It appears to be fully restored, and the paper around the monitor is level and flat and fresh, and it looks good. I love the tire mark on the right that goes up the whole cabinet and into the marquee at the top. That's pretty cool looking. Here's a cocktail version of this game, and just like always, I don't really remember seeing this thing around, but most cocktail cabinets to me are not very amazing or attractive or interesting. They were just square and big and kind of ugly. So I like that they hid them in dark places. I'm sorry for any cocktail fans out there. I really am. It just doesn't do it for me. And then here's the reimagined later Frogger. I guess I found this one online and went, wow, boy, that's cute. And it is. So that would be the direction that any video game manufacturer would have went by, late 80s, early 90s. Maybe a little later, maybe closer to 2000, with really throwing out artwork everywhere. And it's really attractive. So that would be neat. Now, what about Frogger? I mean, who doesn't know Frogger? Well, in this particular setup here, and let me note this because we see it here with Launchbox. It's a Konami game. Sega license, it says. So Sega Gremlin, a little partnership there in the United States, Sega Gremlin. But it is absolutely a Konami game. Let's see the high scores real quick. Weekly is me at 10,400. And then a monthly leader. But boy, forget about it. This person here under the yearly and the all-time, 51,000 on this game. That's just crazy. I wonder what is the all-time high score. Let's find out. It's got to be something ridiculous, as they all are. 970,440 points in July 2012. That's on the Guinness Book of World Records site. Man, I can't even imagine how long that would take to play. So Frogger, to me, is a game that requires a massive amount of patience. In fact, I think it cheats and lies. Whenever I play this game, I tend to get really irritable about it because I want to make a jump. I want to move quickly, and I end up dying. There's lots of ways to die in this game. And so let's explore some of them, shall we? You'll see me do it. All right, we throw a quarter in. 20,000 is what it's going to take to get an extra frog, which I think is a significantly high score. But back in this day, people were more patient, So we start off with a little bit of music. It's a really cute intro, and then away you go. I really do remember playing this game back in the 81 or 82. I tended to watch people play first so I could get an idea. You know, I'm a 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. So I'm watching people play. Plus, I didn't have a lot of money. And as I watched them play, I mean, just the little demo screen isn't very long in many of these games, and it doesn't really instruct you quite enough for any technique, just enough to die and drop a quarter and lose it pretty quickly. So I watched people play this, and then I jumped in and played. And it frustrated me. I remember it frustrated me then. And, of course, now I have more patience because I'm not dropping money in it. But I ended up with this on the Commodore 64 computer and got pretty good at it. And it was an excellent port. So then that allowed me to go to the arcade and play it pretty well, if they still had one by then. Now, we're going to cross the road first. We got 5 lanes to cross, and then a little safe spot. Well, it's kind of safe because later levels have a snake that comes out. But those are just cars, so you just avoid them. And then next up are turtles and logs, and then there's a couple of things that pop in a little bit later. So let's just play. We have a time limit, and I'm going to turn my volume down just a smidgel. So I can mess around here for quite a while if I want. But ultimately, I'm going to end up with, a situation where I run out of time. So, let's see. We've got some turtles that dive and some that just stay afloat, so you can jump on their backs. And that is, and I just missed it, but that little dude there is, I think, like a I don't even know what it is, but something that I'm going to eat is a frog. Here's another thing I can grab. I can grab my woman. That is my woman right there. And if I'm not careful, I almost fell off. I want to grab her for a quick bonus of 200 points. And considering that points are hard to come by in this game, it's pretty vital, in my opinion, to try to grab your woman. So I got her. Oh, okay. Now this is one of the times where I feel like the game is a lying son of a... Yeah. It is. I do not understand. There's a number of times when I make a jump that is absolutely right there and I die. Is there a Frogger expert that can explain exactly maybe how that's coded? Maybe what I'm looking at as a log is actually not considered one and it's collision mapping. So, I don't know. Irritates me so much with this game, enough to where I don't want to play it. I don't want to say that. I enjoy playing it for a while. But those little things really irk me, man. Anyway, back to the game. So it's all about timing. I like to grab the corners as the hardest ones to grab. Now I can go high speed. Look at that. I'm off the dang turtle. You see that? I was off the turtle. Yet it's giving me cred like it's A-okay. Oh yeah, I should have died on that one. But getting in the little slots up there are rather forgiving, I think. I think you can actually get in there and be off quite a bit, it seems like, and still be okay. But I gotta go back to that whole deal with me on that turtle's back. That was insanity. Oh, jeez. Timing was terrible. But yeah, how do I miss that? How do I not make the jump on the turtle's back? I come off on a log and die, but yet then the very next time I go up, I'm way off the turtle and it counts. So you guys that know how to code, you get it, right? It's just the way it is. It's probably programming. Okay, so strategy-wise, what do? Well, I move fast, and I really want that thing, but it only pops up for a minute. So I have to really pay it. That's more luck. If you screw around, you can waste a lot of time trying to just wait for that thing to come. And yeah, by the time I get there, it's going to be gone. Yep. So a little luck is helpful, I think. Maybe there's some strategy to that one I'm not aware of. Pick up my woman and get into a hole. That's the goal. And I seemed a little late on that jump, but it forgave me. All right, so I'm going to call those beetles. It must be beetles that I'm grabbing. Now, You can hop up and down and up and down. And literally what I'm trying to do here is see if my lady, is going to hop on my back. Yeah, that one is the hardest one, I feel like, the one on the far left. Because the log is likely to take you right off the screen. And, of course, if it does, you die. Not very nice, is it? So looking ahead at where you're moving forward to see if they're diving or not is important. You get all 5 of them, you're done. You restart, and it makes things a little more challenging. Now we have more cars. And as soon as I complete, stick my frog somewhere, I'm pretty certain everything speeds up. At least a car does. Also, the crocodile. You can see that I'm on the crocodile's back. No problem. But if a crocodile starts rearing its head in one of those slots up there, like you can see, it's pretty much game over. Maybe not whenever it first shows its claws, but I honestly can't remember. You got to be able to react rather quickly and jump back. Okay, we tried it there. I had to try. We're good if it just barely shows its ugly face. Now, where's my woman at? I don't see my woman frog anywhere. And you can kind of see the predicament we're in here. Oh, there's my woman frog. Oh, I still snuck that one in. So kind of a lot happening there. If you're following my little character, my little froggy around, it's all getting more intense. Everything's getting a little more complicated per little level there. I really want to get this far one here. So I may have to just jump up and down. Hopefully the timing works out. Man, there we go. Oh, jeez. Yep. So sometimes I find myself playing it where I just want to grab that one first because that's like the Widowmaker log, right? Or the Widowmaker slot. Sheesh. Get me over there. Oh, I just left my woman. Oh, and then I jumped on a diver. God. Yep. Not paying attention to everything that's ahead of me. So, it pays to not make assumptions like you're just going to be okay. Now, this one here. Oh, good. I'm okay. I got it. Now, if I can just get through the traffic. Oh, there's my problem with patience. I like to fly through this game. I like to really move quickly. Well, anyway, 2 rounds is plenty. And the game is a rather quick player for money-wise, earning. The game that I owned, I never operated that I can recall. I probably was done with the arcade business at the time. But, every time somebody came over and they saw Frogger, they wanted to play Frogger. I had a Tron right next to it. And most people didn't know how to play Tron. And they didn't want to learn. They just wanted to play Frogger because they absolutely automatically knew how to play this game. And so I let them. And they enjoyed it. And then I sold it. like that's the spice of life, is to rotate games around. So I wish you well on your journey and crossing the road and across this river with, I guess, many currents to go back and forth. And I hope that you don't wind up with a smashed frog.